Our next topic of the show is going to be in regard to what is going to be canon in Gears of War 6. So, obviously, guys, some of the decisions that we've made in Gears 5 obviously are going to, in one way, shape, or form, are going to affect what happens in Gears of War 6, right? I mean, we would all assume this, but I want to talk about this because, when you have to make the difficult decision whether you're going to save Dell or save JD, you got to make that difficult decision. And I want to talk about, what is the coalition going to do in regard to what's canon, what's not canon. And I think that this is really important because obviously the way that they go about this is really going to dictate the history of Gears of War moving forward from a campaign perspective. Obviously, in Gears 5, what I did personally was I tried it both ways, but if I were to pick, I probably would have, even though I didn't like the direction they took JD's character in Gears 5, I probably would have saved JD still, because I think there's always that possibility that we could play as him again in the campaign. But let's just say, are they going to do it in a way where in Gears of War 6, whatever your decision was, it knows based on your account and what you did in Gears 5, is that going to dictate what's canon in Gears of War 6? And that'd be really interesting if that's the case, or if they're going to pick canon for us. It doesn't really make a lot of sense if they did it in that way, but I think there's a possibility that they do it in that way. Or they show us that actually neither of them is dead, but I feel like one of them is definitely dead for sure. So what's going to be canon there? Or are we the ones that make the decision on that? And I think that we are going to be the ones that make the decision on it for sure. When I look at, when you start looking at all of this stuff, I think it's definitely, probably going to be, or it's going to come down to kind of like a Mass Effect sort of thing, which is really an interesting concept to me, where you make a decision. So you make your decision on killing JD or Dell, and then whatever that decision was you made in Gears 5 is going to translate over to Gears 6. And so depending on, which account it is that you're using and things of that nature, I think that the different timelines, different storylines. Now, it's going to be, what's difficult about doing it that way, there's a lot more that's going to go behind the scenes into the campaign of Gears of War 6 than, maybe if they were just to pick something for us as the community. But us making that decision, that's a big one, right? That's huge. So I think that canon, in my mind, should be whatever we chose in Gears 5. So if you killed off JD, then Dell should be the one in Gears of War 6 that continues the storyline. If you killed off Dell, JD's storyline should be the one that continues, right? And so I think that makes the most sense, at least in my mind. But what is the coalition going to do with that big one in particular? That's the biggest one, I think, in my mind. When you think of, all of the different, narratives going into Gears of War 6, and when you think of from a campaign perspective, what direction is the coalition going to go in? It's definitely an interesting one, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Where are they going with Gears 6 in terms of canon? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Gears of War 6 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.